Welcome back to Lafayette Lifestyle. I'm Robbie Bro, and we have a special treat for you, especially during this COVID-19 times. I've got Ellie Bernstein with us from the Acadiana Treatment Center. Ellie's specialty is treating kids for mental health issues.
Yes.
Specifically anxiety. So, first off, Ellie, thank you so much for visiting us over here and joining us. Tell us, this is such a unique dynamic of what's going on with everybody having to stay home.
Yeah.
Give us some tips on what we can do to help our kids kind of cope with what's going on.
So, thank you for having me, first of all. I think that most kids that deal with anxiety, you're looking at their power and control being stripped away. Actually, most adults that deal with anxiety, we're not knowing what's going on. There's so much unknown in this time that everybody's kind of on edge. I think that one of the biggest things that I have realized during this time is keeping some sort of like normalcy and routine for these kids. So I like visuals. I use a lot of visuals in my daily routine with my kids in the treatment center. And so one of the things that I think has been really helpful, I've seen parents doing this already, is like posting a daily schedule on the wall for the kids to have some sort of normalcy and routine. And
here's your chores, so
yes.
I've got a real reason to keep them on track.
Right, and it also, you're working and you're like, oh, go check the schedule. So you can return responsibility, you can empower them to make choices for themselves, because every kid pretty much feels disempowered because they're being told what to do every second of the day. So routine is really important. Exercise. I have found that exercise is the number one coping skill for anxiety and depression to begin with. And what I know from my own experience with my kids is that a day without being outside is not a very good day. You're going to see the emotions inside them, become more heightened. They need that physical release basically throughout the day. So encouraging them to go outside. It's been beautiful. The weather's been nice. So obviously still social distancing,
sure.
But some sort of physical exercise. And I think too, one of the things that I've seen that I think probably most parents are afraid of is talking to their kids. They don't know how to talk to their kids about this.
That's a great spot, because as parents we're supposed to have the answers for everything, and we don't know what to do.
Right.
So you still want to have some sort of visualization of how to grasp with reality, but how do you frame that?
Right. I think it's different. You wanting to be developmentally appropriate based on the kid, right? So I think self-disclosing as a parent, meaning saying mommy and daddy don't know, but we know right now we have to stay safe, and these are the things that we're going to do to stay safe, right? And so little bitty kids using that language of staying safe. So we're going to wash our hands to stay safe because we don't want to get sick, right? I think that it's okay for them to know what's going on. When kids are left in the dark, that's when you see the heightened anxiety. They want to know. They want to feel a part of. You
find that, as parents, if we're holding it back from them, they can sense that.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think that it's okay to feel anxious. As a parent, even, it's okay to feel anxious. So you're normalizing for them, hey, dad or mom feel anxious, and this is what we're going to do to kind of manage that anxiety. We're going to work together as a team to kind of manage that anxiety. And then you're modeling for them that it's okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So older kids, what I've been letting my older kids, so the kids that I work with are adolescents. So they're a little bit, it's more developmentally appropriate for them to watch the news. I've been letting them watch the news 30 minutes a day, and kind of just not saying we're gonna talk about this, but saying, hey, if y'all have any questions, feel free to ask.
Here's an outlet to go.
Exactly.
And it doesn't have to be politically specific, whatever that happens to be. It's just something for them to be able to get the source. And I guess you as the parents have their choice to be able to choose which route they want them to go ahead and do that.
Right.
So.
I think open lines of communication in general are important for kids. Letting them know that their emotions are okay. Letting them know that the things that we're doing, the reason that we're staying in the house, the reasons that we're washing our hands constantly are to stay safe. We're not going to use language like a pandemic, right? Because they don't know what that means, and that's probably really scary. Right. Yeah. So
as parents, is there any other recommendations that you would do? Because this is, there's anxiety from our end, because like you said before, we don't have control.
Right.
Other than exercise, any other things that you recommend for people to just identify, hey, this is actually probably a mild form of anxiety?
Yeah.
this may be something you need to focus on.
I think kids' emotions manifest different from us. A kid might come to us and say, I have a tummy ache, and what they're really saying is, hey, I'm really anxious and I don't know what's going on right now. So looking for things like that. If you're seeing like lots of emotional meltdowns, that's obviously a sign that there's something deeper going on. They're not just being defiant, they're not just being a pain in the butt. There's something deeper going on right now for them. And being able to ask them in a way that's developmentally appropriate, like, maybe it looks like for a little bitty kid, you're pointing to faces. What face can you identify with that you're feeling right now?
That's a great tip.
Right. So it's not just, are you happy? Are you sad? Are you anxious? They don't know what anxiety means,
Right.
but they probably know what a scared smiley face looks like. Right.
It's perfect. You can go and flip through your emojis and be like, hey,
and
this
of
is
course,
what
all
we got.
those kids know what the emojis look like. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Something else that I thought was important too was, because they can't have social interaction, some kind of like calling a friend each day, or some kind of social outlet where they can either Zoom with a friend each day to see how their friend's doing, check in on their friend, something like that.
Right, that's actually another great point. I mean, my kids kind of live on text and
Right.
Snapchat and stuff like that, but none of them really shoot video back and
Right.
forth. Are you finding kids still pulling back and not having conversations
Absolutely.
with their
I
friends?
think it's easier to hide behind a screen and
Sure.
send a text message, but I think there's so much more power in having a face-to-face interaction and checking in and see how your friend's doing and what they're experiencing and getting to share, oh, what did you do today? Oh, this is what I did. And maybe even that's kind of lessening the anxiety, because maybe it's a friend that they see every day at school and they get to check in with normally.
Just, like you said, it just kind of keeps everything normalized and
Right.
as regular and routine
Right.
as you can possibly make it.
Right. Yeah. Other tips for like little bitties, they like tangible things, right? So not even little bitties, my big kids, they want to play with slime constantly. So little things that keep them busy, like fidget toys, slime, Play-Doh. I've actually last Friday I took them and the adults, because we have adults at our treatment center too, and they love this. And we made Play-Doh out of flour. And it was like 3 ingredients. It was so much fun. And then they got to use the Play-Doh for the rest of the week to, as a coping skill if they felt anxious. So they're making it and they're getting to use it when they're feeling anxious or upset.
Oh, very cool, man. That's such awesome tips.
Yeah.
Ellie, thank you so much for being here and
Absolutely.
sharing with us all that. That's all such useful information to
Yes.
be able to use and just be able to go and bring out into into action immediately. It's
Yes.
immediate action steps. So again, thank you so much for
Absolutely.
joining us. And again, thank you guys for joining us. If you have any more information, Ellie's going to leave some resources for different ideas for tips to be able to manage some of that anxiety in the comments below. Thanks again for joining us. I'm Robbie Bro. We'll see you next time.